After the team turned around its win-loss record last season, improving to 7-3 overall after finishing 3-7 the previous year, how can the squad build on that to take another step forward this season?
Well, I think we have to build upon the excellent example of last year's seniors with their commitment to hard work and leadership. Every year you bring in a new group of players, a new group of coaches sometimes, and sometimes they blend and sometimes they don't. So I think that's the most important thing, regardless of how much talent you have and who you have coming back, or where you're ranked, anything like that. It's, are you going to come together as a group and commit, to having an excellent season? And I think last year's seniors, after a tough 3-7 year where we had some leadership issues and we had to take a real hard look at ourselves, showed us the way, and I think it's up to this year's group to build upon what they did last year.
Your offense averaged almost 40 points per game last year, the most by a Spartan team since the 2009 season. Even with the majority of your starters returning, what are your plans on maintaining that kind of success in 2016?
Well, I think you can get caught up in, the numbers of how many people we have back. We have an excellent quarterback coming back, but we've tried to stress to the kids all year that, it's not going to just happen because we were good last year. And it is a new group, and it's a great start when we have 6 returning offensive linemen with starting experience. We have an excellent quarterback. We have 4 running backs that all played quite a bit last year and played their role very well, and a number of receivers coming back. But we are missing some, I think the percentage of our touchdowns last year that have graduated is about 50%. So we're going to have to find some guys that can make big plays, and I think we have them on our roster, but we may have to do different things offensively to get there. We will build upon the skills of our quarterback. Rob Coote is a special player, and we will build on his skills, and where that takes us, we'll see during camp and what direction we go.
That leads into junior quarterback Rob Coote, who had a breakout year in his first season as your starter last year. What made him so successful in 2015? And what can he do to raise his play to another level this year?
Well, I think the easy answer is he's a special football player. He is our most elusive athlete. When the ball is in his hand, he can throw from the pocket, he can throw out of the pocket. But I think what made him real special is his teammates believed in him. I mean, he is a great leader on the field, and everyone knew that if he had the ball in his hands, that we had a chance to win the game. And I think if everyone truly believes that, you're never going to be out of a game. I think he will improve. I think he will get better. I think his completion percentage, his accuracy, we need to get better at. And although he didn't throw a whole lot of interceptions, I think he threw 5 last year. He did put the ball on the ground quite a bit, fumbling. So we'll work really hard on that. And I do think that his best days are in front of him. And I think he's one of the best football players, not only in our conference, but in the country. And we're going to, again, build upon his skills.
Coach, last question. Defensively, you graduated a number of key players from 2015, especially from your front 7. How do you see the team replacing those players? Well,
we did rotate quite a bit on defense. In the secondary linebacker position, we feel that we have people that can step in. I think the question mark is defensive line, and we've tried to address that in the offseason through moving some people from linebacker to D-line. And we definitely emphasized in recruiting, and probably our most talented recruits coming in are probably on the defensive line. But still a question mark. We'll just have to see how camp goes. And Coach Miller and his staff on defense, I think, do an excellent job of changing schemes based upon what we have. And we may have to get a little creative and put more linebackers and D-backs on the field. But I think there is talent. It's different, but I think we do have talent. It might take us a little bit of time to see, again, what direction we need to go on defense.
From a player's perspective, can you talk a little about the successes of the team last season and how you anticipate carrying that momentum over into 2016?
To go along with what Coach Deb said, it definitely takes more of a team. You can stand up on the board and put X's and O's up there until your hand hurts, but it really takes like a big team complex to make the thing go. To carry it over into this year, we put a lot of emphasis on team building, especially through camp and to carry over during the season. And I think being around a group of guys you enjoy hanging out with all the time, and because we're around them so long, I think that's what it's going to take to repeat what we did last year.
What are your goals, both individually and for the team, for the upcoming season?
I don't really have any individual goals. Everything I want to do is team-oriented. The only thing I can say is to stay healthy. I fought off a lot of injuries last year, and I feel like I'm back to 100% this year. So I'm ready to give it my all. And team goals, same as probably every single kid in this room. We want to win a PAC championship, and then we want to try and get in the playoffs.
Last question. With two major targets from last year having graduated in Brian Erb and Ethan Albers, how do you see your role expanding on the offense this year?
Our coaches do a great job of tailoring to the strengths of our kids. Those two guys were big targets, so we knew if we needed a big play, we could always go to them. To fill that role, I'm just going to play the way I've always been taught to play hard, play fast, play physical. I'm not going to try and go out of my way to make plays. When the opportunity is there, I'll make them.
Great, thank you guys. Case Western Reserve will open its season on September 3rd at home against the University of Chicago.